So you're talking about the process of selling someone. Are you basically talking about trust, the difference between you presenting something to someone and because they know you and they're affiliated with you, you can sell them without even really selling them, versus cold selling?
Sometimes a promotion will start with a story. I'll tell you a story about myself sometime. Maybe I'm promoting I recently did a promotion for Jeff Johnson. Well, I have a story with Jeff Johnson. He was the first person I ever paid $30,000 to for coaching and guidance. And literally the same stuff I paid to Lurn back then for $30,000, he's like giving away for free nowadays, right? And I put that in my email and I talked about that. And I said, hey, this is why you should go into his pre-launch and go watch his free videos. There was a day I paid $30,000 to get this content. So I just gave you information. You got to know me, you learned something about myself, but now I also just kind of sold you into his pre-launch process. So, that is in itself its own art. And I bet you right now, if Glenn were to do that to his list, he'd get some people would write to him and be like, F you, dude. You suck. Why are you selling me? If he's not built that rapport with it. Like, there's a different way of talking to people. Frank Kern's a great example. Frank Kern is a marketer who sends out emails that have once the subject line says dude. You see what happens to my list if I send out an email that says dude in the subject line. That's just not my brand. I love reading his stuff. I love his brand. He's fun to watch, but that's Frank Kern, right? That's not Anik Singal. Okay, so when you're first building a list, and Tom spoke about this, and he's like, they don't know you from the next person. You're just building a relationship. You're going to have a tendency to want to not sell them because you want to build a relationship. The problem is, in that process, you will have trained them not to buy from you. And this really happens. This is a real thing. Trust me, it actually exists. So what my whole balance is, you've got to learn how to send out an email one day that's just a video of you in a park or hanging out somewhere and saying, hey guys, it's so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. But there was something I learned from, oh my God, why am I forgetting his name? Dan Kennedy. Dan Kennedy said, always be selling something. And I was like, I don't understand what that means. And when we started doing product launches, I got a chance to work with Mike Filsame and everybody, and I understood what that phrase means. So if you ever join one of my product launches in the pre-launch process, you opt in and you get a free report, right? So let's psychologically talk about the selling process. And this is also called getting mini commitments, mini yeses. So you come to my page, I'm now selling you to give me your email address. That's what I'm doing. In exchange for this following free report, I'm selling you to give me an email. Okay, you give the email, I give you the free report. Now in that free report, I've got to sell you something. I'm not ready to sell you the main product yet because that's still 2 weeks out and we're not ready for that. But what am I going to sell you? Well, in that free report, I'm going to sell you the video that I'm releasing in 3 days. And in that video, I'm going to sell you the free webinar that's coming up in 3 days. And on that webinar, I'm going to sell you the product. So along this process, you've been saying yes, 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 yes to me. I'll reveal like a little strategy to you guys I use. It's NLP stuff. If you've been on my webinars, you'll see it. Don't ever tell anybody. I'm telling you right now. But do you guys ever, if you watch my webinars, a lot of times I'll say, hey, if you agree with me or if you're really ready to change your life, say yes. Type in yes into the question box right now. I'm conditioning. That's conditioning. It's getting you to agree with me. It's getting us to be on the same place, same line. But that's me. I'm selling you through content. I'm not doing anything salesy. I mean, you're just saying yes because you agree with me. So when you're first starting your list and you don't want to promote too aggressively, you probably cannot promote as aggressively as I can. You cannot do it because the trust isn't there. I can go after my list a little bit more aggressively, and sometimes I do. Sometimes there's a product that if I'm promoting and I will come after my list really hard. And what's amazing is when it's all said and done, there's no damage. My list is just as fine. We finished the event. Typically, Keith said this once. Keith Matthews is a great marketer. He actually said this on a webinar. He said, my list seems to kind of know that we're in this together and we're going to ride it out. Sometimes he's like, I mail my list 3 times a day about something, and they just get it. They're like, all right, this guy, he's on it. I'm going to ride it out, and when it's done, they're still there. So but he can do that because they know him. My list knows me. If you start right from day one doing that, they're going to not trust you. But what you can do is even in your free content videos, free content emails, you can always say, hey, I've got something really exciting coming up for you. I've got something I really want you to do. There's a video coming tomorrow. I really want you to watch it. Commit to me that you'll watch it. Say yes right now in your mind and make a verbal commitment to me that you'll watch the video. And the video you're sending them the next day could be potentially a sales video. Right? So they're still learning to take direction from you. They're still learning that this person is authority. I have to listen to what they tell me to do. So that is what I mean. In the early days when you're just starting your list, that's one way to start, quote unquote, selling to them without really selling to them.